Hey guys, it's that time of the year again. Top 20 albums of 2023, and this year was really a crazy good year for metal in general. Yeah, some really solid releases. There was a lot to choose from, a lot to go through, a lot to sift through, but it is the 30th here as I'm filming right now, so hopefully I will have this all finished and uploaded before the end of the year, so I'm on time. A little bit of context for how I judge my top albums of the year as a crazy big music nerd. I essentially kind of take a more objective route to it, just to try and make it a little bit fair, and that's just, I like doing it. That's how my brain works. So essentially I rank 9 different musical criteria. I'll just list a couple of them, including like vocals, lyrical content, production, melody, harmony, structure, songwriting, instrumentation, album flow, and a few others. I rank those 9 out of 10 for each album, and then I average it up to get the overall album score. But yeah, if you want to nerd out a bit more and hear me talk about those musical criteria, you can see my previous album of the year list videos, and I go into more detail on those. But let's just get into it, because I'm really keen to talk about some of these albums, and I am quickly filming this before I have to go to work so that I can get it all finished and edited when I get back from work, because editing is going to take a while. Alright, so starting off with number 20, we have Grave Ripper with Seasons Dreaming Death, and I gave this 7.5 out of 10, and these guys are a blackened thrash, or a black thrash band, however you want to kind of name it. But this is a really, really solid blackened thrash record. Let me find on my list here some of the best things that I liked about the album. Oh, apologies for sneezing like that. Yeah, these guys are out of Indiana in the US, I believe. But this was kind of like just a straight to the point, kind of fun record where they didn't really, I guess, differ too much in the quality from start to finish, which is really good. So another thing that I scored really high on was the groove. Like, lots of really catchy riffs in this album. Yeah, really fun record. If I had to choose my favourite song on the album, I would... Oh, it's difficult, but I would probably... maybe Ripped and Torn Apart, or Divine Incantations. Yeah. Great album. Alright, moving on. At number 19, we have Cattle Decapitation with Terrorsight. This is also 7.5 out of 10. And obviously, if you don't live under a rock, you know who Cattle Decapitation are. Yeah. A lot of people had mixed thoughts. You either kind of really love this album, or you kind of really hated it from what I saw. But a very, very solid offering from Cattle Decapitation. I'd say up there in their top 3 or top 4 albums of all time. It's a very solid album. The vocal range, obviously from Travis, on this album was amazing. Lyrical content, very, very good. Those were the top things that I loved about this record. Probably the vocals and the lyrical content was probably the top 2 that I really enjoyed from this album. Favourite song, I probably would have to say Scourge of the Offspring. Just a really catchy song, and I played that so much this year. So, yeah. Good job, guys, in Cattle Decap. Thanks for another solid record. Alright, moving on to number 18, we have Homicida with Sacrifice the Bastard Son. This was also 7.5 out of 10. And this is a thrash record out of LA from the US, I think, Los Angeles, according to Metal Archives. Another very, very, very solid thrash metal record. When I first checked this out earlier in the year, I thought it was a very solid album, but I didn't actually think it would make my top 20. But going back through and ranking it, obviously it's actually that great of a record that it is landed in number 18. So yeah, just some really solid songwriting, structure-wise, great riffs. Favorite song on the album, I think, would have to be Seven-Headed Snake or Hunt for Flesh. Those two just have some really cool catchy licks in them that I really, really enjoyed. So yeah, another great thrash record. Check it out if you haven't heard of it or haven't even heard of them so far. Talking of, we have another thrash record in number 17 with Enforced War Remains. I gave this a 7.6 out of 10. So yeah, thrash record. If you aren't familiar with Enforced, they are a thrash, people call them crossover band from Virginia, US. But a absolute killer record. Riffs galore. Just yeah, very, very, very solid album. It was it's a great fun listen. If you just want something on that's straight to the point, it's not a super long album. As I said, A to B, just hard hitting, cool, thrashy, aggressive riffs. Yeah, this album, these guys are your thing. Favorite song on the album? Probably. Oi, chill. Sorry, my dogs. Drop. Favorite song probably would have to be Hanged by My Hand, I think. Or Avarice. I don't know. They're all some very, very solid. Drop Chopper. Some very, very solid songs. So yeah, a great record. Okay, coming in at number 16, we have Zenith with Shores of Destiny. Now, I gave this a 7.7 out of 10. Now, these guys are a groove/melodic death metal band, and they are from Croatia, actually. So yeah, they kind of incorporate quite a few different metal genres in their sound, but I would class them as groove/melodic death, with obviously a few different other elements and metal genres in there, but a really, really cool album. I want to talk about a couple of things on this that really put it up this high on the list. Where is it? Here it is. Yeah, I would say a lot of the variation and contrast in the musicality in terms of it's cohesive. It's not like it's just chucking multiple ideas together, but it gives you variance while still keeping it heavy, but also melodic in terms of the vocals and the instrumentation. But it offers quite a lot. This record gives a lot of different elements that work well together, and it's just, yeah, that's what I really like about this album. Favorite track on the record would probably have to be Humanity Falls or Tower of Babylon, which is an 8-minute song, but man, it's got just some really cool sections in it. So yeah, that would probably be my two favorite songs on this one. And let's move forward to number 15, and we have Malice Divine with Everlasting Ascendancy. Now, I gave this a 7.8 out of 10, and this is pretty much actually a one-man band. He wrote, recorded everything except for drums, I believe, and I think he's Canadian. Let me just double check. Yes, from Toronto, Ontario in Canada, I believe. This is a blackened melodic death metal album. I say blackened because it has a lot of blackened elements. That's how I would describe their sound, but a really, really, really cool album. Lots of different unique little, what's the word for it? Unique melodic lines, I think would be a great word. The use of melody and harmony was one of the best things about this album. And yeah, just some really, really great tracks, a great album from start to finish. Let me see, favourite track is hard because there's tracks that just have really, really cool bits in them. It makes it hard to choose just a single one. But probably Silence, Judgment, or Usurping the Paragon would be my two favourite tracks on this record. But yeah, obviously just a really good album from start to finish. Get into it if you haven't seen these guys, or this guy, because pretty much he's the mastermind behind it all. So yeah, great album. Alright, moving forward to number 14 of the year, we have Locust with Infidel. Now I gave this a 7.8 out of 10. And these guys are a death thrash band, or death/thrash. They also infuse quite a lot of other elements into their sound. These guys are from the UK. But a really, really interesting record. They do quite a few things really well. One, obviously, vocals. There's some really cool stuff done on this record. Lots of catchy, groovy stuff and riffs in this record. A lot of modern elements without it losing its cohesive, deathy, old school appeal. They blend those two kind of things really well together. Favourite track on the record, I'm probably going to have to go with Eradication 1. Yeah. Or War of Opposites. I don't know. There's some really cool tracks on this record. They all offer kind of something a little bit different. But, yeah. Another great record. And, yeah, check that out if you haven't. Alright, moving on to number 13, we have Fetal Juice Grotesque. This is also a 7.8 out of 10, and these guys are a death metal band out of the UK as well. Manchester, apparently, according to Metal Archives. But yeah, this was a absolute riff fest, a really, really, really fun, hard-hitting, old-school death metal. Grotesque is a great actual word just to describe the album, because it's grotesque in a great way. Favorite track on the record, probably Mountain of Gore has this crazy riff and almost breakdown kind of bit that I just love. Yeah, obviously there's like really no bad track on that record. It's crazy good. If you love your death metal and your old school death metal, check that out. It's really, really catchy, killer death metal album. So yeah, awesome. Alright, moving on to number 12, we have Angelus Apatrida with Aftermath, and I gave this 7.9 out of 10. These guys are obviously a thrash metal band from Spain, and this is their sixth album? Seventh album? Anyway, they've had a few albums. Their previous album in 2019, I think, or 2020, was really high up on my album of the year list. This one, in my opinion, is not quite as good as their previous effort, but is still very, very good, obviously coming in at number 12. All the things that I loved about their previous record, riffs, production, quality of songwriting and structure is all here. Yeah, another very, very solid record from Angelus Apatrida. They do thrash in a very, 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 just a great way. I just love how they write, how they put things together. And again, in my opinion, not quite as good as their previous effort, but still another very solid album in my opinion. Favorite song would have to be Guernica, just a very catchy riff and a very well-flowing kind of song. Alright, moving on to number 11, we have Skeletal Throne with Barbaric Torment, and this was 7.9 out of 10. And these guys are a death thrash band from Mexico, actually. This is a really, really good album It's kind of came out a little bit, not a little bit of nowhere. I thought it was a very solid album, but going back and ranking it a little more objectively, it really highlighted a lot of very solid elements. The songwriting, structure, and riffs are what really pushed this album to number 11 on the list. And yeah, just some really crazy catchy riffs, some very, very good, just straight to the point, death, thrashy songwriting, just good stuff. March of the Death Part 2 would probably have to be my favourite song because it just has this crazy, catchy, headbanging riff that makes you want to tear limb from limb. Yeah, great job for Split with Throne in number 11. Alright, top 10, let's go. Number 10, we have Sentenced to Die with Parasitic Infection. Now this is a death metal band out of, let me double check so I get this right, they are out of Minnesota in the United States. Yeah, death metal band. I gave this a 8 out of 10. Now this is just a straightforward, crushing, killer death metal record from start to finish. Not very long, straight to the point, riffs galore. Riff central is how I would describe this record. Riff frickin' central. Killer, man. I would say to choose a favourite song in this record, it's going to be very, very hard because they're all got like just something that's going to tick your fun box in every single song. Probably Tied Down and Impaled would be my favourite song. Or Splattered on Pavement. It's a great song name. Yeah, I don't know. Just great record from start to finish. And yeah, if you like your death metal, you like your hardcore, hard-hitting riffs, check these guys out. Alright, number 9. We have First Degree Murder with Beyond Salvation. I gave this an 8 out of 10, and this is a death metal record. So, a little interesting story with this one. They are technically a band from Germany. This album was actually written back in the day. I can't remember exactly. These guys were formed around 2009, according to some sources. But this record was, I think, written and recorded like years ago. I'm talking like, I think it was like a good maybe 10 plus years ago. And it was just never released. It was only released in February of this year. So this is 100% a 2023 album. And man, this just has all of the elements of an old school kind of like 2000s death metal record. It was just really well put together, some crazy good songwriting, catchy things. This is a big highlight of the year, and I'm glad that it came top 10 because it's just a really solid record. I literally bought this on Bandcamp as soon as I heard like the first 2 songs. I might even be for free on Bandcamp, but honestly, go check these guys out, support them. I don't know what the main songwriter or the guy from the band are doing these days. Obviously they released it. I don't think the band is together anymore, but it's a 2023 release and it's freaking killer. Favourite song on the record, probably God Is Dead or Cloak of Vengeance. Or, yeah, I don't know actually. There's some really good songs. The Trapped Inside is the second or third last song, also a very good song. Yeah man, just a really good record. Go check it out and let me know what you think. Alright, moving on to number 8, we have Unearth with The Wretched, The Ruinous, 8 out of 10. Obviously if you don't know these guys, they are fairly well known. They are how I would describe them, a melodic death / metalcore band. They are, where are they actually from? Boston in the US. Obviously they have quite a few records. This new one is very good. Obviously giving it a 8 out of 10 and 8th best record of the year. Yeah, just some really catchy riffs on this record. What else was really good about this record? Let me have a look on here. Oh, album flow was very good too, and instrumentation. I think there's actually quite a lot of good, not just riffs, but use of melody and solo techniques throughout the record that was really enjoyable. Favorite track on this record, I would probably have to say Dawn of the Militant or Eradicator. Or Mother Betrayal. Yeah, very, very good. Very, very solid album. Check that out if you haven't already. Alright, moving on to number 7, we have Apocryph with Down to the Crypt. I think I pronounced that right. I gave this an 8.1 out of 10. And these guys are a death thrash band from Finland, actually. Metal Archives classes them as thrash metal, but they're death thrash. They have a lot of heavy death elements to their sound. Yeah, as I was saying, this one I didn't actually think would be this high. I mean, number 7 of the year is absolutely no small feat, essentially. Yeah, really, really good album. Let me find where I wrote it down. Oh, yes. Groove was really, 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 really good on this record. Some other things that were really, really good was their use of melody and harmony. A lot of people go death metal, thrash metal, where's the melody, where's the harmony? But there clearly is melody and harmony, whether it is the vocal lines themselves. Again, not necessarily very high, but there's still a melody. The actual use of melody and harmony within the guitars, within the rhythm, within the other instruments of the record. But yeah, just intertwining, whatever, I can't talk, but utilizing the melody and harmony throughout the record while keeping it still very, very hard hitting, still very, very heavy. Yeah, great record. Favorite track on the album, I would probably have to say The Swarm. Really straight to the point, crazy catchy song. Otherwise, Sands of Time is also a very, very good track that I really, really like. But yeah, a great, great death thrash album. Check it out if you haven't heard of these guys, because I haven't really seen anyone talk about this record, which is crazy considering how good it is. Alright, moving on to our top 6, we have Man Must Die with the Pain Behind It All, and I gave this an 8.2 out of 10. Now these guys are a really, really crazy good technical death metal band from UK. Obviously these guys have been around for a while. It's been 10 years since their last record, Peace Was Never an Option, in 2013. 2013 plus 10 equals, yes, I'm right, 10 plus years since their last record, and this is honestly one of their best records in my opinion. This is just a crazy good record, so many good riffs, just a great flowing album, yeah, so many good songs, man. If I had to choose a favourite, it would have to be Bring Me the Head of the King and Who Goes There / IFF, which my brain currently doesn't remember what IFF stands for. Friend or foe? Something? Who Goes There? Friend? Anyway, I can't remember. But crazy good record. Honestly, no bad tracks on this album, man. Just yeah. If you like technical death metal, this has got to be on your radar. This is crazy good. All right. Number 5, we have Eye of Horus with Noxium, and I gave this an 8.3 out of 10. These guys are a melodic death metal band from Canada, and this is another one that crept up on me. This is released a little later in the year. I can't actually remember when it was released. Let me have a look. October 14th, so yeah, near the end of the year, but this one crept up, and it's just a really, really solid, concise, cohesive, melodic death composition. Yeah, really, really good. They flowed a lot of the ideas and concepts together really, really well. And instrumentation, production, and vocals also very, very, very high quality. Just a great put together melodic death record. If I had to choose a favourite song, it would have to be Purified by Gore. That's a crazy good song. But Modern Meat Grinder is also quite a catchy one. But yeah, really, really good album. Check that out because yeah, I kind of took me by surprise. But yeah, man, number 5 of the year, very, very good. Alright, moving on to number 4, we have a Legion of the Damned with the Poison Chalice, 8.3 out of 10. These guys are a killer death thrash band, and this is a killer death thrash record. So many good things to talk about on this album. What do I want to say? Riffs, instrumentation, solos, awesome, really, really, really awesome. The use of melody too, while keeping it crazy, heavy, crazy catchy. This just is a really, really good record. It has a great replayability to it. It's just offers a lot where you're not going to get bored at all. Favorite song, Progressive Destructor, 100%. That riff makes me want to just, I don't know, it's just crazy catchy, crazy good. Not super crazy, disgustingly heavy, but like it is at the same time. And that's kind of how I would describe this record. Like, it's not the heaviest, most brutal thing ever, but it just has something to it in terms of the guitar tone and production quality that just makes it really crazy heavy while also keeping just those catchy melodic elements alive. Great record from Legion of the Damned. Yeah, killer. Alright, top 3. In third place, we have Body Farm Ultimate Abomination. It gave us an 8.3 out of 10. These guys are awesome. Chopper, what are you doing? Space! Just immediately took my phone cord out of its socket. Silly goose. Sorry, guys. I was talking about Body Farm Ultimate. Yes, these just death metal, crazy death metal band from Netherlands. Yeah, I got that right. That would have been awkward. They've had quite a few records out if you've been following them for quite a while. Essentially, they've been active from 2009 onwards. This is just very, very, very good album. Marginally better than Legion of the Damned at number 4. They both got the same 8.3 out of 10. But I put this one a little bit higher just because it was, I don't know, I just think it's a tiny bit better. Again, I had to choose one over the other because they both ranked 8.3 out of 10. Yeah, just a very, very well put together death metal album. Lots of good elements, songwriting, structure, riffs galore. Favorite track? I would have to say, Symbolical Warfare, Soul, Damnation, or Carving Repentance. It's hard to choose a single track because there's just so many good ones. Okay. Moving on to top 2 albums of the year. Let's go. At number 2, we have A Goat as Our Shepherd with Epiphany, 9 out of 10. These guys are a killer death metal band out of Belgium. Now, these guys crept up. I mean, this is released end of November, 16th of November. This was released, and I actually didn't find out about it till I think after November, like late November, even maybe start of December. But this record is so good, like ridiculously good. A lot of melodic and even progressive elements to this record. Frankie, shush. Just so many good elements to this album. I think one of the best is their ability to write really well flowing ideas, riffs, and sections together that just feel really cohesive. It's a very heavy album at times, also quite melodic without losing. Frankie, it's enough. I just got a new puppy. He's like 14 weeks old. Good boy, it's enough. Yeah, man, this album is just great. Came out of nowhere. Absolutely fantastic. I cannot recommend this highly enough for any metal fan has elements kind of a few things, but it's mostly a death metal record. Frankie, it's enough. Yeah, such a good record, man. Production is amazing. Vocals, very, very good. Kind of a very varying vocal range and ability. Very, very good. As I said, flows so well together. Just a great, fantastic album. Favorite tracks on the record: Fire to the Throne and Torrential Rain will be probably my top two favorites. Okay, and then we have the number one album of the year. In first place, we have The Fallen Prophets with Perpetual Damnation, 9.3 out of 10. This is the pinnacle death metal album of the year and one of the best I have heard in very, very, very recent times. This is just crazy, crazy good. These guys are from South Africa. This is their third record, I believe. Could be wrong. No, I'm not wrong. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure I'm right. Dude, this is just crazy good. Crazy, crazy good. The riffs, the groove, the interconnectedness between all the different sections on the album. Vocal-wise, awesome. Production, awesome. Tone, awesome. Just such a good record, man. If you have not heard of these guys and check them out, they are criminally underrated. This album is criminally underrated. I have not even seen many people talking about this, but I'm going to push this out everywhere, and this is well and above definitely number one album of the year. It's just so good, so catchy, so heavy, but it also isn't just a wall of sound. It has great separation between elements, which is what a lot of other records lacked this year in terms of extreme metal and death metal. Like Cattle Decap obviously was number 19 of my list, but production wise and separation between sound was lacking. Same with like Dying Fetus, which was up there but didn't make my top 20. Some of those albums they lack separation, they lack variance and contrast. This album has it all in spades. Favorite tracks would have to be probably Eliminate the Worthless or Death Has a Sound. Also, As the Dead Swarm is crazy good. No, as I said, zero bad tracks on this record. Every single one is crazy good. So yeah, that is 2023 done for another year, and I think that's crazy good because I've got to get ready for work and leave very soon. So yeah, thank you for another great year. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, subscribing, whatever, to my videos. Thank you for indulging my nerdness, which is, yeah, I'm a nerd, you know. But yeah, hopefully you found some new albums that you haven't heard this year, which is really, really, essentially it's one of the reasons I do this, obviously because I love it and I'm just so passionate about music and metal. But yeah, a lot of these records I think people would maybe not have heard of or not checked out, so if I can push them out to get more people to enjoy these awesome, awesome albums, then hell yeah. So yeah, hope you had a good year. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Let's go. See ya.